Imagine a street party so massive, um, it injects 6 billion batik into a local economy in just a few days.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to think about.
Right. I mean, the infrastructure is flawless, the crowds are managed perfectly, but the moment the water dries up, you wake up to the reality that the country can barely afford to keep the lights on.
It's a huge contrast.
Exactly. Welcome to today's deep dive. We're taking you on a journey to unpack Thailand's post-Songkran reality, moving from this massive economic high into a really sobering economic and political hangover.
And, that contrast between those two realities is what makes this topic so fascinating to look at today.
Definitely. I mean, let's start with the festival high. We just saw Pattaya's Wan Lai, that's the extended Songkran festival, pull in a massive crowd.
Right, an estimated 300,000 to 400,000 tourists.
Which is wild. That's essentially the ultimate street party that actually pays the bills. It brought in over 6 billion baht.
Yeah, and what's really impressive there is the smart infrastructure. They actually created special service lanes right through the dense crowd specifically for emergency rescue.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't just chaos.
Not at all. It proves they can execute world-class logistics when the goal is tourism. But then the water dries, and Monday morning rolls around.
Wait, let me stop you there. If a single event injects 6 billion bahts into just one city, shouldn't that massive cash influx act as like a buffer against an economic crisis?
You'd really think so, right? But that 6 billion is basically just a painkiller. The underlying disease is structural.
Right, the economic hangover we mentioned.
Exactly. The IMF is actually warning that Thailand is entering a high-debt, high-interest, high-risk era. Their GDP growth is lagging way behind their ASEAN peers right now.
And a huge part of that vulnerability is energy reliance, right? I mean, Thailand's energy use is a whopping 10% of its GDP. To put that in perspective for you listening, the regional average is only 4%.
Yeah, it's a massive gap. And it comes down to how their economy is built. They rely heavily on importing fossil fuels.
So when global oil prices spike, it just hits everything.
Precisely. Expensive flights threaten that massive tourism engine we just talked about. Exports get pricier, and domestic consumption shrinks.
Which explains the scary GDP projections. The base case growth might only hit 1.3% this year.
Yeah, and in a worst-case scenario, we're looking at 0.7% or even negative growth.
Wow. So that's why the advice for households is so incredibly strict right now.
Right.
Cut expenses and delay taking on any new debt.
Right, which obviously brings up the question of how to fix that energy dependency.
Exactly. I mean, if we know our energy intensity is double that of our neighbors,
Right.
and we have abundant sunshine, why aren't they just pivoting faster to alternative energy like solar?
Well, executing a massive pivot like that falls entirely on the politicians. And just to be totally clear for you listening, we're looking at this political situation completely impartially today.
Right, we're not endorsing any sides, just laying out what the reports are saying.
Exactly. And the reports show that both the government and the opposition are totally distracted by intense internal hurdles right now.
Yeah, the political pressure cooker. The Anutin government is facing sky-high expectations, especially for these untested Lukthep or newbie latency ministers.
Right, they haven't proven their skills yet. And there's also a lot of confusion over delegated duties.
Like what?
Well, for instance, they assigned southern border security to a foreign affairs official instead of a seasoned advisor.
Wait, really? But the southern border is a volatile domestic military issue. That seems like a major mismatch.
It is, and it erodes confidence. But the opposition is also fractured. The Prachachan party is staring down a court date that could ban 10 of their key MPs.
Oh, wow. And the Democrats are just leaning on past debate glories, right?
Yeah. And then you have the Claw Tam party, which is ruling with an iron fist, boasting about having zero Cobras, defectors.
Like a high-stakes chess match where half the pieces on both sides are either completely unproven or in imminent danger of being taken off the board.
That is a perfect way to put it. Every major player is consumed by internal party survival.
So the focus is totally pulled away from fixing the actual economic squeeze.
Exactly.
Well, the water has definitely dried up. Thailand is transitioning from a 6 billion baht party to a period requiring strict household budgeting and intense political maneuvering.
It's going to be a tough road ahead.
For sure. Which leaves you with this to think about as you watch this all unfold. If global energy prices continue to squeeze Thailand's unique vulnerabilities, will the public eventually demand a completely new type of political leadership? Or will traditional party survival tactics prevail?